Welcome to another edition of Let's Play Farming Simulator 2013 on the old family farm. Alright, so we got a few crops that are ready to be harvested, so let's go ahead and fire up our combine here. As you remember, last time we did a little bit of baling. I still have the baling equipment, although it's ready to be sold. It's already in the area to be sold, so I just wanted to try it once, see how the baler worked, and as you saw, it worked out really well. It's a really nice looking baler. You know, it does a pretty darn good job. So we don't need any more straw, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop him and actually turn the straw chopper on. Oops, gotta get a bit closer there. There we go. And the reason why we got a chopper straw, because we don't actually need the straw at this point in time. There's no biogas facility here, so you don't necessarily. You could theoretically use it in the biogas facility, turn it into chaff, but we don't have a biogas facility unless I haven't found it if there is one. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get our farm all set up and ready to go here. There we go. We already have our play courses set up for that. Here it is. And we'll set him on his way. And what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to sell a few things. Oh, let's go that way. No, go the other way. Fine. Be that way. Sheesh. Can't make it do anything, eh? So I have 39 pigs, so we're going to go ahead and sell our pigs. Be a couple loads. And let's jump into our Ford. So we're going to sell our pigs. And as those guys are harvesting over there. I do like the way this truck looks, as I mentioned before, I'm sure. But it has this weird clicking sound, so I don't like driving it. It's only like when it... Like at low RPMs it's fine, but as you get higher up it has this weird sound that it makes whenever it gets to high speed, so it's a bit strange. Alright, let's get in here with the pigs. Open the doors up there. Perfect. So I've been checking out some other maps, been messing around, seeing what's what and who's who, and checking out to see which ones are good. Might work well for me. I've actually found a couple maps that have beef already integrated into the map itself, which is pretty nice. But I haven't found too many, unfortunately. It's only been a couple. Almost everyone these days has pigs, but not the cattle, so that's kind of a bit of a downfall. But I have narrowed it down to basically, I think, just a couple maps now for the next season. I can't tell you where it is yet, but I'm sure you'll find out. Looks like the train's coming. Sounds like it, at least. The train never actually comes. It just sounds like it's going to come. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got a little ahead of myself there. Let's just unload our pigs here. Back this up. There we go. It's funny. I often think whether this truck could actually handle this trailer. And I think it probably could. But it's hard to... Oh, he's in driver helper mode. Might help if he's actually in combine mode. Jeez. There we go. Anyways. Oh, he's done right. He's not full up anyway, so. I tried out, I didn't do a full-on fertilize this time. I tried our seeder has a function where you can do a partial fertilize. So let me just bring up the information here. So you can do like a partial fertilize instead of a full-on fertilize. So right now it's on partial, and there's full, and then there's nothing at all. So I've been using it primarily as with no fertilize at all, because I have other means to use it, other means to fertilize my fields. But it's that yield right there that we're getting from that from the combine. That's from a partial fertilized field, so it's kind of interesting. Alright. I really don't like the inside of that thing. So we'll get the rest of the pigs here. Nice and slow through there. Yeah, but I'm checking out some other maps. There's some nice ones that I found that really has some nice little details in it. Nothing too crazy, mind you, but it has enough, I guess, is what it boils down to. So, and also I have to take into consideration that not all maps have things you can run through. So I've gotten so used to running through things on this map that when I play other maps now, I have to remember that not every map has that built in already. So it's kind of funny because I'll try to run through like a tree like I normally would, but I can't. Oh, what's he doing now? Jeez. But I can't, so it's kind of funny how that works out. Alright. First, I didn't have him in combine mode. Now, I just set him off on his first waypoint, which is on the other side of the silos there. Oh well. Where is it? I can get this guy to start cultivating. Actually, we can get here we are. We can use our Renault. Or Renault, depending who you're talking to. In, I think if you're French, you would say Renault, but if most people wouldn't say it like that, just because they don't realize it's supposed to sound like that. At least as far as I know, that's what it's supposed to sound like. Because if it had what's called an accent aigu on the E, it would say, it'd be Ré, and if right now, without, it'd be just Re. Anyways, there's your language lesson in French for the day. But it is pretty dirty. Actually, yeah, that is pretty dirty. Maybe we should, after it's done there, maybe we should go and, ooh, I picked this up the other day, today, because I needed I've discovered lots of maps don't really list where the water pickup is, so it's kind of annoying. What am I looking for? I'm looking for misc. Or miscellaneous. I think this is where it is, at least. Yes. Let's buy that. Alright, now you can continue. Perfect. So we'll let that guy do his thing, and then we'll take our Ford 7000 and we'll grab our tipper. We'll go sell some of our grains that have been sitting around. How much do we have sitting? Still got some canola and still got some corn and got tons of potatoes still. Let's go ahead and sell some of our potatoes because we're right here anyways. Because we haven't sold them in a couple episodes now. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Go. Let's do a nice little U-turn here, or a big wide turn, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Shouldn't take too long to fill this trailer. And what are you doing? You're just sitting here. Keep you hooked up to that for the time being. Let's go sell the rest of these. Close the back there. Don't want the pigs getting out. Take this over to the slaughterhouse, or the butcher, let's say. I don't know why I call it the slaughterhouse. I think it's the name of a movie, actually, that I've never seen. Horror movies just aren't my thing. I'll just say that right now. I have seen some of the classics like Nightmare on Elm Street and ones like Jason, but I don't necessarily enjoy them. Well, the old ones aren't so bad, but the new ones just are way over the top, so not my style, personally. There we go. Let's hop back into our Ford 7000. Perfect, he's full now. So I said at 1.8 million, which is over 400,000 more than our goal was, which is good. So I was thinking about buying something. Let's do that right now, actually. What am I looking for? Placeable. So let's buy a bee house because we need to improve our pollination of our grains. Because bee houses are, people don't don't put bee houses so often. They don't really go about. Where's a good place for this? Back here? No. How about right here? No, but those are right by the baby calves. Let's put it back in the corner here. There we go. Just one, just to help with pollination of our grains, because you never know. I remember watching one video and someone said that it would help with fertilization, but they don't, not at all. What actually happens with bees is that they help with pollination, not fertilization. So what they actually do is they help the male plants and the female plants get together, sort of idea, through pollination, because a bee goes from one plant to another plant, basically. And by doing that, oh, let's turn his engine off. By doing that, it helps to develop the actual fruit on the plant itself. One of the interesting facts is you can actually self-pollinate certain vegetables. So for example, tomatoes you can self-pollinate. So you can take like a Q-tip and like hit the male tomato flower and then the female tomato flower, and then you can get tomatoes that way. Gotta hop back in here, it's gonna be in the way. But it's kind of interesting. Like some places that don't have as many bees, it's a good way of dealing with that, because there is a decrease in bees to a certain extent in North America, at least. And what's happened is some people are blaming it on a particular herbicide or insecticide that people use on their corn. So what's happened is beekeepers who have a large population of their bees die, and they suggest that it's because of this certain insecticide. But there's been arguments both ways. People saying it's yes, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is actually the insecticide. And other people are saying no, it's not. So it really depends. I'm not sure what it is because I'm not a scientist by any means, but it could be anything basically. There's our power washer. As I mentioned, I put the baling equipment right there because I don't want to use it anymore. I just wanted to try it out for the one time to see how it went. We'll leave it there for the time being. I don't feel like selling it yet. It worked out fairly well. It's a nice baler, but I think the bales it drops are a bit bigger than that trailer, because that trailer is from the McHale pack, and I think the bales were a bit bigger than 4x4 bales, because I think the ones you get in the McHale pack are smaller, or from the baler I should say, they're smaller. So, and they were just a bit big for that trailer, but it did work for the most part. They like to move around a little bit, but with the locking script you can kind of get around it, so it's not so bad. Let's go sell something else now. I think let's do some corn. I haven't planted corn in a while. Jeez. I think just because after that, horrendous experience I had with buying the wrong, or having the Dawn not work with our corn header. I just got turned off of corn, I guess, and then I haven't bought anything since, or haven't planted any corn since. Despite the fact that we have a specific combine now, actually, so. Alright. Let's go around the outside of those lamps. It's funny, I modded a trailer to handle beef cattle as well, and I got it to work. But what actually happens, I should say, is I didn't put any different fill plane in there, so they turn out to be pigs instead of beef cattle. But it looks funny, but it works at least, so it's functional. All right, let's go sell this corn. I don't know. I don't know how to add a fill plane, like a picture like the pigs are. So if I knew how to do that, I would probably look into doing it, or probably do it, but I'm not really sure how to do that. So I was having a bit of trouble with Farming Simulator because I was trying out so many different maps, and some of the maps added different things. So I had to go through all my the saloon. Holy cow, the saloon's like so much higher than everywhere else. I had to go through all my is there any great demands coming up? Potatoes are coming up again in 3 days. Sugar beets, barley. Anyways. Yeah, so I had to go through like all the mods and decide which mod was the culprit, basically. And eventually it turned out to be a map, which is kind of odd, but got it fixed, which is good. So good. Let's check on our Renault. He's doing good. I should say he's doing well. Alright, let's go back to here. How much have we made today from that? 49,000. It's not too bad. Let's take the long way around. It's a nice sunny day here. Let's check the weather. Sunny and 24 degrees. That's a gorgeous day. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but 24 degrees is a really nice day. In Canada here we use Celsius, not Fahrenheit. But apparently 1 degree in Fahrenheit you'd feel a difference as opposed to 1 degree in Celsius. I don't know why, but people say 1 degree really makes a difference. Like here, if it's like 15 or 16, it's like, yeah, whatever. But if it's like 15 or 16 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll feel a difference between the two. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been told at least, so. You guys tell me if that's true, because I have no idea. 1 degree in Canada, I don't know. It changes so often. Like the other day we had like minus 5 degrees Celsius, and then yesterday I think we had like 15 degrees, so. But it's fall, and that's to be expected this particular time, because you do have lots of varying weather all the time, so it wasn't a big surprise to actually have that kind of swing in the weather. So, but it plays havoc in an apartment building. Like people crank up their heating for like 1 day, and then they don't turn it down, so then it's still at the same heat or the same temperature as it was before, but it's not necessarily that hot, or that doesn't need to be that hot. So I don't know, it's crazy. Like here in our apartment building, like people go nuts sometimes. It seems like they crank the heat up and it's like 10 degrees still outside and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe I'm just hot-blooded. And no, I'm not gonna say check it and see. It's a terrible song. Well, not a terrible song. That's terrible that I went that far, so. Yeah, so like I said, I'm checking out some maps, and some of the maps I've been checking out have been, I'm trying to stick to like bigger maps, but I've seen a couple smaller maps that are really nice as well. Let's just do this here as well. Actually, you know what? No. It's $100 more a liter. And that's the other funny thing that actually happened. Because I was messing around with different maps, it actually here, for whatever reason, it actually switched into euros per liter, which is kind of funny. But I wouldn't mind that liters. It would actually make more sense than like it is right now with tons. So I don't know. Perfect. Apparently there's a blacksmith here. I'm not sure why you need a blacksmith, but these days the only reason why you really need a blacksmith is for horse farms, because they use, obviously horses need horseshoes. That's the only circumstance I can really think of a blacksmith. Now I guess there's artisan blacksmiths, which is a bit different than what they used to be. Obviously in the past they used to make swords and armor and whatnot. Although these days you can make some pretty cool armor from all sorts of things. If you ever go on YouTube and look up like how to create armor, you'll find lots of tutorials. It's pretty impressive what they can make these days. Alright. Looks like our Don's almost done. I love how he's called the Don. So far I really like that combine. It's actually a nice combine to get starting out in the map. Because the header is 6 meters wide, that's way larger than, like, let's just take a little look. Like, even in my modded combines, alright? So, this combine by itself is 220,000, and the header on it is only 7.5 meters. This one's 370, and the header is 12 meters. This one's 40 grand, and it's only a 4.5 meter header. That 6.6 meters. This is 4.85 and $160,000. Not worth buying at all. This one, 45 grand for this Tinsy Wincy Fire. I don't know why. And then this is the next one here. It's like a 60 grand difference between these two. And I think the Dute's 60, what is that? Dute's 54.65? 54.65. This one I think it is. Only a 5 meter head. So the whole combine costs $15,000. Less than this, actually. It's like about the same price just for the header. So it's a fantastic starting combine. So that right there, that combine, how much was it again? $110,000 with a 6 meter head. And you can spend $16,000 and get a 6 meter head. It may not be the fanciest looking combine, but it gets the job done. Yeah, so it's a fantastic, it's kind of like a nice intermediate. So what I've been doing a couple times when I hopped onto maps is I would sell whatever combine I had. Like even this one with its head is not very big either. Yeah, 7.2 meters. Like, yeah, 1.2 meters makes a difference, but if you can gain like an extra, what is it? An extra like $150,000 off the bat just because you sold this combine and downgraded slightly, that's a lot of money just to use for anything else. So, oh, looks like our Renault's done. Let's go ahead and wash our Renault. I've never even used the washable mod, to be honest with you. I have a few mods that get dirty, but I've never washed them before. But I'm kind of curious, so let's go check it out. Looks like our Harrow is still nice and clean. Doesn't have the, it's not washable apparently, so, which is fine. Let's give this thing a wash and see how it comes out on the other end. Alright, don't hit the pole. Here we go. I could move it, I suppose, but it's easier just to drive this to this. Alright, so I have no idea what the keys are at all. Let's look at turn on pressure washer. Oh, there you go. Doesn't look like it's cleaning it at all. Or is it just me? Or does it really take that long to clean off? Yeah, it looks like it does just take that long. Yeah, that's taking a long time. Oh, activate sprayer. Yeah. This takes a long time to clean this thing. Jeez. So this is why I would never do this again. Now that I realize what it's like, yeah. Definitely not going to try and do this again. This takes just way too long. It's a cool idea, mind you. And it might, maybe, it'd have to really bother me, but it doesn't bother me that much, the dirt on the tractor, because it's just going to get dirty again anyways. Like, I don't know, I've washed farm equipment before, but it was at the end of the season when you're going to store it away for the rest of the year. Yeah, that's good and clean enough. There you go. Clean tractor. Now it's really orange again. Like I was saying, like I have used pressure washer to clean off farm equipment before, but like it was at the end of the year, and that's, you know, you're storing it away for 4 or 5 months here in Canada, so you really need to make sure your equipment's cleaned off, because if you don't, what happens is you can get like rust forming in certain areas, stuff like that. So in those circumstances, yes, it makes perfect sense, but in the game, not so much. Anyways, let's hire this guy. Just gonna fire this guy up again. I don't even need to empty it. That's canola too. Excellent. Let's get this guy started on this field over here. Perfect. So there you go. If you've never used the, if you've never watched a tractor in Farming Simulator 2013, now you've seen it at least. So, alright, let's hop back in our Ford here and unload some more stuff. Yeah. Actually, some of the, now thinking about being able to clean your equipment. Some of the mods, or some of the maps I've been checking out, they actually have a car wash built in, so you can drive your tractor through the car wash, which is kind of funny, I thought. So it's kind of, it looks really ridiculous when it shows it, but it's pretty funny the fact that the creator of the maps went to the length of making a car wash in there. So. Oh well, their choice, I suppose. It's a neat idea. It's a nice little addition. Let's just say that. Like the fact that your tractor can get dirty is kind of cool, I suppose. But do you go out of your way to clean it? I did because I was kind of curious, but I suppose everyone... I suppose if you had all your equipment got like that and you just like to clean, then yeah, I suppose that would work out. But I only have that. That's the only tractor I think I have that gets dirty, so it's not really a big thing for me. Perfect. So the reason why I'm doing this is because it is getting closer to our 20th episode. And this is in preparation because I haven't done a lot of selling of our goods. A lot of times it's been the milkman has come, and that's the reason why we've increased in money more than anything else. But obviously I did some selling off screen. Obviously this day right here is the day I recorded, but didn't work out. Maybe that's why it's 666. Interesting. So maybe that's the reason why. So, alright. I'm curious. I want to go check out the beehives now and see what it says over there, because I haven't, I don't normally buy beehives. And what we'll do is we'll set it up so it fills up the tipper, and then we'll go over and have a look at our beehive, which is in our cow field way off over there. Nope. Canola, I think this is it, yeah. Let's go take a look. Do a little bit of sprinting. Never hurt anybody get some exercise. Alright, let's go see over here. Obviously, hurdles is always a good choice to hurdle over fences. You never hurt yourself doing that, right? Nice little water here. One thing I've noticed, actually, you can usually, when you have like a water mod, you can usually fill up any kind of water trailer from like a piece of water like that, but depending on how the mod's set up. Oh, look at that, that's kind of cool. Homemade honey. Now, in reality, this is probably only one bee colony, because I don't know if that many bee colonies could all live together. Somehow I don't think so. Anyways, where are we? Perfect. Let's go sell some canola. Also, we have all these fields as canola too again, so I'm not that worried about how much canola we're selling right now, because we're going to get a whole bunch more in a bit, so. Excuse me. Alright. So I've been looking forward to changing maps. I'm getting to the time where I feel that this map is kind of like, I'm done with it for the time being. Mainly, I think part of the reason why I feel like I'm done with this is because I've placed this barrier of 100 horsepower, and I'd like to get bigger equipment, but this map really isn't good for the bigger equipment. Alright, we need canola. The rail line. Alright, let's go to the rail line. So it'll be nice to change up things a little bit. I'm really interested in trying out this whole beef thing. And because I did change the model slightly, because a lot of maps don't put a very, I don't know, appropriate price, I'll call it. That's why I haven't. That's why I decided to mod it, the mod itself, I suppose, because I just didn't think that, you know, $300 for a cow was a very good price. Like I said, I asked a farmer a while back, and he said he can get about $1,500 for a cow. So what I did is I changed the placeable beef and pig masts, so when you sell a cow, you get $1,500 for it. So as opposed to whatever else, I think it was like $270 you got for it, something like that. So, but I'll have to double check to see what the purchasing price is. Because I'm pretty sure the purchasing price is pretty cheap. $50, something like that, so. Alright, there we go. So, I've also been thinking about what potential goals could be for this new map as well. Excuse me. I'm thinking about, you know, a goal of a specific piece of equipment maybe, or a specific goal in terms of how much money to make, along those lines. So I've been thinking about that, and I think this is what I've been thinking is getting a specific piece of equipment as one goal. So where is it? Plow, sewing machines. So getting this Case IH precision air sprayer. So obviously, because I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about a pretty big map. That along with, where is it? This, so that's already 330,000, I think it was, plus, let's say, where is it? This tractor maybe, or the John Deere I have, which is 150,000. So something along those lines. And then what you'll notice is that rig costs a lot just to get it, let alone to run it. So you do need quite a bit of income coming in. So maybe something like that, and maybe a certain number of mature cows. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking of. Or like, let's say all the fields. Like in this particular map, getting all the fields, I could have done at the very first, basically the very first episode, because they're so cheap. But on some of the other bigger maps, like with the newbie farm, there's no way I could have done that, because there was just so much land, and I just couldn't. Well, I could have, but it would have been way more episodes. And like as it is, I think it did like 30 episodes, I think, on the newbie farm. So that was like a hard map to start off with, and it was a really good challenge. So I like that. I did play a lot off camera because of that, mind you, but it was a nice little addition. Alright. So we've sold all our pigs, but we still have a little bit of manure. For whatever reason, I think the manure production, like I think I would have to get more pigs. Like I think the manure production and liquid manure production are actually different depending on which map you're playing on, I think. It feels that way a little bit, because I've played on a couple different maps now, and it feels like the time you, not the time, but the amount of manure you get is different a little bit. I don't know if that's because I've just been fast-forwarding time in some cases just to try some things out, or like one of the things I noticed that this map doesn't actually have withering on it, I've discovered. Well, I discovered that a while ago, I just never mentioned it, but it doesn't have withering crops on it, so if you just leave, you can just, you know, harvest all the crops at the same time and it's fine. You'll never have to worry about them withering, but it's not the case for every map. It's a good addition because then, you know, by having the withering crops on there, you can, you know, it's a little bit more realistic. And if you don't get them off by a certain time, then obviously, you know, lose money basically. I played on a really big map once, and that's what actually happened on it. Like, the map was so big, or the fields were so big that I just couldn't. For whatever reason, I just fast forward time too much or something, and I just couldn't get it all off the field in time. So, all right. So I think I'm gonna stop the episode there for now, guys. This has been Ian Robson. What's a good picture? Let's see if we can find a good picture. Maybe the windmill. There we go. Perfect. This has been Ian Robson on the Old Family Farm, and we're playing Farming Simulator 2013. Catch you guys later.